It has been 2 days since Space Daddy himself has taken over Twitter.com, and Twitter is no longer able to be traded. Chaos is ensuing on the streets. Everybody is going crazy. People are leaving Twitter. Well, okay, part of that's true. Some people have left Twitter. It doesn't seem like it's probably going to be that many. Some of them are going to come back because Twitter is one of the main places where people can get quick information. I was like, what is the value of Twitter when you have Instagram and when you have Facebook and, well, Facebook, okay. When you have Instagram and YouTube, for example, which I spend the majority of my time on social media. So what is Twitter good for? Twitter is good for quick information. And by that, I mean really easy and quick to be able to put the information out, as well as being able to quickly look at the information. So if you think about it, one of the fastest ways to get information out is by just, you know, typing it out, typing a little bit of information out, some words on a screen. So that's overall kind of the value of Twitter as far as what it can do compared to other social media platforms, where if you look at YouTube, you can get lots of information on YouTube, but think of how long it takes to create a video and put it up. Even if you're doing like live streaming or something like that, it's just a little bit more intrusive. You know, you have to be holding your phone up to do the live stream, and you're not as obtrusive when you're posting on Twitter as well. You're not like going, hey, here's me and what's going on. It's like you just type something in silence. So the platform is very reductive in terms of what it can do. It's not much, but I think there's value in that. I think there's value in having something that can only do one little thing but do it really well. But the main thing I wanted to find out is what happens if you have Twitter stock and when a company goes private again. And so I looked it up, and so this is from what is this, NBC News, and they're saying now that Elon has closed his deal with Twitter, what happens to the Twitter stock? And I was like, does everybody get bought out, or can they keep the stock and decide to leave? Well, according to this, Twitter stock has already stopped trading on the New York Stock Exchange Friday morning, so that was yesterday. And I've heard that it was delisted, but apparently it's just stopped trading. We can actually take a look on this is TradingView. You can still see it on here, so it's not like it's been like removed from platforms, but you apparently can't trade it anymore. So it's stuck at 53.70, and it appears that everybody's going to be bought out at the 54.20 that is owed per share that Elon is supposed to be paying per share. Twitter will get a record of everyone who owns shares as of Thursday night's closing, so that was a couple nights ago. The majority of shareholders will likely be represented by brokerage agents. So yeah, if you bought Twitter stock, most likely you bought it through a broker. And so it looks like those brokers will be paid the money, and then the brokers will pay you, I'm assuming, is how it's going to work. Now, 54.20 is a pretty decent price for Twitter stock, it looks like. There's a few times, if we go all the way back to 2014, which this is the daily chart on TradingView, and we can see that there's been a few times or few durations where the stock has hit 54, what was it, 54.20. And that was, so 54, if I put a, we're almost at 54.20 right here, but if I put a line, we can see it a little better. So yeah, as you can see, the yellow line is 54.20, and we're just right below it at 53.70 is when it stopped trading. And you can see if we go back to, let's see, anywhere from, we'll say December of 2013 to March of 2014. So for a few months back in the day. And then you go and it kind of hit 54.20 a couple times, but then it went down a bunch all the way to 14.57, which is pretty bad, pretty bad. That was 2016. I don't know what was going on then, but that's crazy. That's really low. And then it went back up finally starting in 2018 or so. Not quite going back to 54.20. Finally, in 2020, it was able to hit 54.20, and it kind of went up and down above 54.20 until November of last year, where it's kind of been below that since then. And so unless you bought between, what was it, February of 21 to October of 21, or in 2013, late 2013, early 2014, you're probably going to be making some money on Twitter stock. But if you bought between those times, you're sadly going to be probably losing some money, unfortunately. Every other time you're going to be making money, it looks like. So the price looks pretty decent for as far as stockholders are concerned. And yeah, apparently the price was approved by shareholders. Now, I don't know if that means that it was like an official thing where shareholders had to approve the price that Elon said he wanted to buy it at, or if it was just like they asked shareholders just to get their opinion. And apparently it was a vote where the shareholders said they approved Elon Musk's bid to buy the company. Now, like I said before, I thought that the stock was going to be delisted, or it had already been delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. That's according to other people that I heard or talk about it. But according to TechCrunch, it's going to be delisted on November 8th. And so it's just not able to be traded anymore. Elon Musk is also using a company called Subsidiary X, or X Holdings, which he's using to buy Twitter. I believe that was how it worked. Anyways, either way, it's going to be merged with Twitter. And we already heard that Agarwal and Segal and Gotti, all the top people in Twitter, had left. And they got off with quite a bit of money, 50 million, 37 million, 17 million each as part of their severance packages. So they're doing quite well. So X Holdings was to serve as the parent company overseeing the potential transaction with Twitter. And then X Holdings 2 would merge with Twitter and be used to purchase its outstanding common stock. I can imagine how complicated things are behind the scenes with creating businesses just to buy a company and then merging them together. I don't even want to know what goes into that, but it sounds very complicated and it sounds like a lot of work. So far, nothing much has changed on Twitter. It looks like it's still working properly, still able to read tweets. One person said that some of the buttons changed color. I haven't seen that. The retweet and the heart button. I'm not sure what that means. One of the most interesting posts that I've seen here recently is this guy, Lakota Man, says, "I'm not leaving Twitter. Elon Musk can go F himself." I think that's funny because I don't care if he leaves or if he doesn't leave, or anybody leaves or doesn't leave. I don't think there's going to be enough people leaving to make a change, to make a difference. Really, I think most people are gonna stay either because there's not really another platform that's as big that does what Twitter does, although there is some competition, of course. But also, if you leave, then you lose your voice on the platform. And so I think most people, even if they don't like the change, they're still gonna stay because they want to, you know, be part of the platform where everybody's talking. That makes perfect sense. It doesn't make much sense to leave a platform if it's like the major platform and if you have something that you want to say. So that's about it. Now we have videos that we can watch that are of dildos riding on the airport baggage claim. So that is truly amazing, and I can't wait for more of that type of stuff on Twitter. I've been a lot more active on Twitter lately, and it kind of started before like Elon Musk bought Twitter, basically just shortly before that, because I was starting to make YouTube videos and then start promoting them on Twitter as well. So I was already interested in being on Twitter. All this stuff kind of, I guess, interests me a little more to want to stay on here and see what's going to happen. I'm very curious to see what Twitter's going to turn into. I hope it turns into something good, or it stays similar but better. Who knows? We'll see. Please go ahead and watch my last video, and this is actually something I'll probably talk about more, as Mr. Beast, but watch my last video on Mr. Beast potentially becoming a billionaire, being part of the Billionaire Boys Club with Elon, although he's Trillionaire Boys Club. But just go ahead and watch this video where I talk about that. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.